Oh, okay. Suddenly everything's great and we're awesome and everyone's just congratulating us. I don't know. This is obviously incredibly suspicious, man. Well, we stayed there and talked about Nikoniya news until the sun set and the chime rang to tell us it was time to go home. After the big news, we hadn't gotten anywhere with our next project, but that was fine. We each grabbed our bags and headed for the shoe boxes.
なあ、宮代のニヤ生が評判良けりゃ新入部員入ってくれるよな。
うん。そしたら予算も増えるし、言うことなしっすね。だったら嬉しいな。タクたちが卒業しちゃうと、部活も一気に寂しくなっちゃうし。
We still didn't know what was going to happen, but they're already getting excited. I ignored them and went to take my shoes out of the box. What was this? On top of my shoes, I could feel something thin, like paper. Yes, a confession letter. Even that? I took it out, wondering what it might be. Well, either a confession letter or a threat? No. But probably a love letter. It was definitely one of those things you put letters in. An envelope. Yeah, that's right. And what's more, it was a very cute envelope, which smelled kinda good. In large letters in the center, it said, To Miyashiro. I turned it around and there was a heart-shaped sticker sealing it shut. It just turned it... Well, I mean, it was already pretty much a comedy romance anime for a while. In a lot of the routes, at least in the beginning. Until, like, it turned, well, often, I guess most of the routes, even the main route, like, it starts off, like, well, not maybe... Well, I was thinking, in the main route, though, at least there's a few murders, I guess. But, like, for the most part, a lot of it, anyway, is just comedy romance anime. But right now, this is the most egregious example of like comedy romance tropes in anime. I mean, come on, he's just like he gets promoted, everyone's happy, you know. He even got a love letter. This really is just a cheesy anime. Anyway, I turned around. There was a heart-shaped sticker feeling a shot. My mind had frozen up for a second, but now it started to race. Now horror music is playing. Could this be? No, wait, don't be hasty, Miyashiro Takaru. You don't know it for a fact yet. I flipped it around and looked to the other side again. There's a name on the envelope. Aozaki Yume. Oh, did we get that name before? I think maybe. You know, maybe, what was that one girl that Takaru was always, you know, saying that he didn't remember the name for, right? And then he eventually did remember during the festival, you know, when he was preparing for it anyway.
Aozaki.
Who's that? I tried to remember, but nothing came to me.
Yume. だよな。これ。
お？タク？何してるの？
別に何もしてないよ。
あら？今背中に何か隠さなかった？
隠してない。隠してなんかない。
あ、今の嘘です。ってことは、花ちゃん。
Yeah. Kazuki has snuck behind me at some point. She quickly grabbed the letter out of my hands. Oh yeah, she's been training in those simulations. You know, VR missions from Metal Gear Solid.
これって。
もしかして、
ラブレター? Everyone started to shout as they peered at the letter in Kazuki's hands.
嘘、タクに？マジっすか？差出人は？青崎夢でいいんだよね、これ。お、待って、青崎ってもしかしてあの2年の青崎さん？
なんだと？
Ito and Naramura gasped in surprise at almost the exact same time.
知ってるのか、伊藤。知ってるのかって。お前こそ知らないのかよ。青崎っつったら、我が校を代表する10年に1人の美少女って有名だろ。
Oh yeah, she's the prettiest girl in school somehow. Is that again? That's always such a romance comedy trope as well. It's always the prettiest girl, no matter who it is. It's always the, even if she isn't the main romantic target, you know, in the harem, there's always that one girl who's just the prettiest one, you know, and that the main character always has a crush on the first time, at least in the beginning of an anime. Every time. I had no idea.
彼女のことなら私も知ってるわ。まるで少女漫画の世界から抜け出してきたみたいに美人だっていう噂の。
Shoujo manga. Did they say that? And also, well, I wonder, is she gonna be drawn? You know, will she have her own sprite, or will she just be just someone off screen?
当社費によりますと、美少女ランキングでは学年という枠組みを飛び越え、碧峰学園でダントツ1位かと。
Everyone just hyping her up, that we just never see like her actual face, maybe.
そんな美少女がタクにラブレター
？Why is Hana so angry? No, Kazuki, there's no need to punch the shoe boxes and find out if they hurt.
嘘だろう。あの子が、あの青崎さんが、あんなとびっきりにスペシャルな美少女が宮代にラブレターだと。
Well, actually, I was wondering, like, why was Kazuki so angry? Well, I think I know why. Because she was going for Aozaki, obviously.
嘘だ。何かの間違いだ。さもなければいたずらだ。
Ito was stomping his feet and throwing a tantrum. He looked like he might be able to weep tears of blood. Well, I mean, he did at one point. Anyway. Was this Aozaki Yume really that pretty? Is she gonna be drawn as a sprite? Does she even have a face? In this universe, where only the main characters have faces? Or at least anyone related to the plot? Anyway, I tried to play it cool and speak in a calm, level voice. I failed. Even I could tell my voice was shaking. The most beautiful girl in the school has sent me a love letter. If this isn't suspicious... I mean, he's already suspicious already, this is even more suspicious. Was this the beginning of a wonderful romance? Ah yes, romance anime. Was I able to say goodbye to my days of being single and enter the world of the Ryajus? Ryaju? No, of course, I was already a Raiju. But I meant in the other sense of the word. Kurusu suddenly turned to me with a serious look on her face.
ダメって何が？
最初からいたずらなんて決めつけちゃ失礼でしょってこと。ちゃんと真面目に読んでお返事しなきゃダメだからね。
あ、それくらい分かってるよ。
From the look in her eyes, I could tell that she sensed my excitement. Well, there was no sense in trying to fool Kurusu anyway.
おい、宮代！読め！今読め！すぐ読め！早く読め！何が書いてあるのか今ここで読んでみせろ。
Ito looked like he was about to pounce on me.
落ち着け、伊藤。これが落ち着いていられるか。
伊藤君。
All it took was one word for him to quiet down. He's like a dog.
そんな大勢で晒すような真似しちゃかわいそうよ。こういうものはもらった本人が一人で読むのがマナーでしょ。
そうだよ。そういうわけで。
宮代先輩のケチンボ。
I tried my best to remain calm as the others complained, but then slid the letter to my bag. Of course, I was actually trying my best to suppress the desire to read it right now. Still, first a Nico Neo offer, and then a letter from a girl. What was happening in my life? It's like as if it's wish fulfillment or something. Suddenly, I felt a weird sensation run down my spine. Someone was staring at me. I turned around. Yep. Oh, hey. And then I saw something huge. Something that most certainly didn't belong here. It was a D sword. It was like some kind of twisted piece of art. A D sword. D sword? D sword. Uki was standing behind the rest of the group, staring at me intently with a stern expression on her face. Oh, why she just equipped the D sword for some reason? In her hand was a shiny, beautiful blade, the D sword. My mind went blank for a second.
Uki, 何を
Ah!
あれ
Daddy? What was that? I know I just saw a D sword. Smile. He's just the emoticon, colon bracket. I tried blinking a few times, but Uki wasn't holding any kind of sword at all. It never happened. Never existed.
あ、いや
What was that? Maybe a hallucination caused by the setting sun?
なあ、宮代ちょっとだけでいいから
Okay, I imagine Uki's like, I mean, I feel like it's kind of obvious at this point, but like she's here in this weird delusionary world, and she's maintaining the illusion as much as she can, I guess.
いい加減にしなさい、伊藤くん。
The tiny little doubt I had eventually disappeared as I listened to the others chatter. Are we living in a very similar world as Adamura right now, in the Adamura route? That ending? Which I wonder, like, how did she... well, maybe Uki was involved, actually, in that case. She was in that... Oh, okay, it kind of clicked. Remember when Adamura was like... In the Adamura route, anyway. She was, like, stuck in her own little world, and I was thinking, like, maybe she was just crazy, right? No, she was just crazy. But actually, because she was in the basement, and that was where Uki was at the time. I don't remember how that worked in timeline-wise. I don't know if Uki was there before or after, but like... Oh, maybe, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm thinking like the reason why Adamura was having that weird delusion of like her being happy and everything in her own route. I was thinking like because it was Uki giving her that illusion at that time is what I was thinking, but I don't know. Anyway, because very similar things happened to us. When the door closed. My cool, casual demeanor broke into a giant grin. Yes, bubbles. I don't know. It's this kira shiny sparkly bubble thing, that happens often in shoujo manga. I was going to be a guest commentator on Nikoniya News. On top of that, I've gotten a love letter from Aozuki Yume, the most beautiful girl in the school. Yes. On the way back home, I had to stop myself from skipping around Shibuya. I said the words aloud to try and get myself under control. Some things were too good to be true. Maybe Ito was right, and it was just a prank. Just a prank, bro. The first rule of entertainment was gonna make it seem like things are going well, right? I can't read. The first rule of entertainment was going to make it seem like things were going well right before everything goes to hell. Now that my life was mere entertainment, of course. Considering this whole visual novel is meant to be entertainment. Anyway, if it was a prank, why would anyone bother? Was the goal to laugh and make fun of me? Who'd want to do that? Well, Adamura for one. Okay, I guess we have a choice here. We can either choose positive or negative or neither, I guess. Which is interesting because what happens if we have a delusion within a delusion, you know? How's that work? For now, though, I guess, well, we're just gonna choose, you know? Because I already know the steps. And I'm gonna get everything. I'm gonna get all the endings. But first, we're just gonna get the default, which is, you know, we're just gonna live in this illusion. Just be happy. Just stay ignorant of what's going on, is what I imagine. You know, I don't know, I mean, I know the steps, I don't know what exactly, you know, exactly happens, though. You know, again, I'm reading the non-spoiler walkthrough. It just tells you what to do, but it doesn't tell you, like, what exactly it means, you know? What does it mean to, like, choose these illusions? Though if I had to guess, you know, probably choosing positive delusions will make us stay in this whole, like, weird place where everything's happy and everything. Well, anyway. Or maybe people could sense the light of my inner genius no matter how hard I try to hide it. I mean, of course. But normally I didn't stand out at all. Everyone seemed to get the wrong idea, but I always try to keep myself out of the limelight. Yet Aozuki Yume found me anyway, which meant that she was special, even though I don't know her at all. The chosen right-sider and the chosen beauty, drawn together by a special destiny. Was this fate after all? Maybe someone was planning to get my hopes up as much as possible before humiliating me on video and uploading it to social media. There were other possibilities too. This could be someone's way of getting me to sign up for expensive English language instructional materials or join some weird cult. I mean, that is a possibility, I guess. Get caught up in a pyramid scheme. Anyway, the fastest way to find out was to read it. That would give me a clue as to whether it was real or a prank. I cut off just a tiny piece of the top of the envelope and took out the letter from inside. The letter was written on pretty pink paper that matched the envelope. I started to read the contents of the letter.
Nani? 突然のお手紙でごめんなさい。けれど、もうこの溢れそうな思いを
私の小さな胸の内だけに閉じ込めておくのは苦しくて切なくて今にも胸が張り裂けそうで、このお手紙だけで宮代先輩に私の思いすべてを伝えられるかどうかはすごく不安です。それでもやっぱり我慢できなくて。
Who's reading this, by the way? It sounds like another voice actor that we've heard before, but maybe it's different.
だから思いの丈すべてを込めて筆を綴ります。これまで私はずっと宮代先輩のことを見ていました。
Yes, she's a yandere stalker, of course.
知的で何でも知っていて、それに新聞部の部長としてたくさんの人から慕われていて、なのにそれをひけらかすことなくいつもクールで。
So cool. Mad scientist.
そのメガネの奥に隠されたまっすぐな瞳を見るたびに、私の心は締め付けられるように苦しくなっちゃうんです。
I don't believe any of this is accurate, but alright.
そうしていつしか私は宮代先輩の虜になっていました。
Stockholm
最
syndrome?
近では寝ても覚めても宮代先輩のことばかり。このままでは私はどうにかなってしまいそう。
You might go literally crazy with a knife?
もちろん私なんかが宮代先輩のような素敵な方と釣り合うとは思いません。でももしも宮代先輩が少しでも私のことに興味を持ってくれるのなら、最初はただの後輩としてでもいいんです。先輩、私と真剣にお付き合いしていただけませんでしょうか。
Just reading it was enough to make me feel dizzy. I was ashamed that I had ever doubted her. I could feel Aozuki Yume's pure, innocent feelings for me pouring forth. Joy burst from within my heart.
一人の痛いけな少女を核も虜にしてしまうなんて。僕はなんて罪な男なんだ。
Of course. I ran my hand up and back through my hair and adjusted the rim of my glasses, then sighed dramatically. What could I? And then I sighed. At the bottom of the letter, there was an 11-digit number. Was that a cell phone number?
お返事待ってます。
Heart. That was what it said in cute round letters next to the number. My throat went dry and my stomach started to clench, and you call it as it turns out, it was a pyramid scheme. Trying to sell you stuff.
電話で返事しろってことか。
I mean, I never trust like numbers, just random numbers, you know? I guess in a letter, I don't know. Because you imagine, well, I often see in public washrooms in particular, just random phone numbers on the washroom stall. I don't think you should call any of them. But anyway. She wanted me to talk on the phone and with a girl I never met before, and one who was supposedly the prettiest to come along in a decade. Sarika and the guys in the newspaper club were one thing, but I still got nervous talking to my classmates. This was asking way too much. Just the time is ticking away. I realize I've been standing there clutching the love letter for hours. If I waited any longer, I'd lose the chance to call her. Come to think of it, it must have taken her a lot of courage to write this letter. So if I didn't respond, Sarika and Kurusu would get mad at me. And not only would it be rude to her, it would go against my own sense of morals and etiquette.
Yosh.
I gathered up all my willpower, took out the phone and dialed the number on the paper. And then I tapped the screen with a trembling finger. And it started to ring. Moshi moshi. The way was torture. I had to try my best to stop from hanging up. And then she picked up.
Anyo!
Hey, Will, ooh. I stammered. I totally screwed that up.
僕、その...
I tried my best to start over. Nani? Nani? Was this Aozuki's voice? Okay, getting some weird effects. I mean, that's Sarika, isn't it? I imagine we're still I imagine we're still lying on the pool of blood. Or rather, lying face down in the pool of our own blood, back when, Shinji was being mind controlled and everything. Is it Sarika that's like calling to us right now? Saying, hey, Takeru, can you stop bleeding on the floor, please? Taku? How'd she know my nickname? Huh? This is voice, was it?
Oh? Onoe?
Oh no, Sarika. No way. I know I entered the right number. Oh, there is no. This time it was another voice. That voice belonged to...
Kurusu ka.
Weird. What was going on? Why was I talking to Sarika and Kurusu? Maybe the girls had sent me that letter as a prank? No, but wait. I could see Sarika and Ito doing it, but would Kurusu go along with something like that? Kurusu wasn't that type. There's no way. And... they sounded like they were talking about something really urgent. It didn't feel like a prank or an act.
Onoe? どうしたんだよ?
And why was the connection so bad?
セリカ、とにかく今 は伝えるべきことを先に伝えないと。
He's no.
だね。
My heart started to beat faster. What was going on? What were they talking about? There was so much noise on the line it was almost impossible to make them out. And they seemed like they were in a big hurry.
いい？よく聞いて。いるのはね、音のしじゃないの。
Is it real?
だからお願い。タツ、早くして。
おい、さっきから何言ってるか全然聞こえないぞ。もっと電波のいいところに。
Bleep. Oh, that was a weird delusion. Within a delusion? Within a delusion? We're getting into layers of many delusions. Huh? What was the sensation I was feeling? What was I... Oh, right, the phone. I was on the phone. I looked at the phone I was holding. It was still trying to connect me to Aozuki Yume. There was no signs she picked up, and I couldn't hear Sarah Kurusu at all. My head felt so confused. Then, what was that? A dream? But it felt so real. The ringing continued. Just when I thought she might not pick up, it connected.
もしもし。
Oh, Aozuki Yume? The call went through, right? Though her gasp sounded very much like Uki, by the way.
もしもしもしもし
I can tell, even if it was just a gasp. Like just a small gasp, I can tell it's an Uki gasp.
宮代先輩ですか？
Or maybe, I don't know, it's hard to tell. It sounds really much like Uki. Oh, so this was Aozaki Yume's voice. It's so kawaii.
宮代先輩ですよね。
はい、そうです。
It took everything I had to keep my voice from shaking.
お電話ありがとうございます。私、嬉しいです。
いえ、こちらこそ、何と申しますか。何と申し上げてよろしいものやら。
More. Geez, what am I doing? The sweet voice from the phone was making me its prisoner, or make me its prisoner.
それじゃあ、楽しみにしていますね。
うん。
先輩？
何？
私、幸せすぎて、今夜は眠れないかもです。先輩、先に切ってください。
いや、君が先に。
それじゃ、せーので。やっぱり、私から切りますね。
What is this conversation? Hang up on the count of 3.
うん。
それじゃあ、先輩、おやすみなさい。
Woozy noises. I took a deep breath and let out all the air in my lungs. I've been in such a panic that I didn't even remember what I talked about. The only thing I could even barely recall was that we agreed to go on a date after school tomorrow. She told me that it would be embarrassing to let the girls in her class see her, so she wanted to meet me someplace a little further away from the school. So we both agreed to meet at Cafe Lax, I think. How convenient.
Huh? 待てよ。
My brain has started to work again, and I realized the mistake I made. If we went to Lax, someone from the newspaper club might see us. Not to copy what Aozaki said, but I'd be embarrassed to let them see me, too. Maybe I should change the meeting location. I took out and tapped the number I just called. But...
おかけになった番号は、現在、電波の届かないところにいるか、電源を切っているため、かかりません。
I guess. Instead of her beautiful voice, I was met with the cold voice of a recording.
おかしいな。
Maybe she was taking a bath. Or she run out of the battery? We've been talking a long time, so it's certainly possible. Or maybe she doesn't exist at all. No, I tried again, but...
おかけになった番号は現在電波の届かないところにいるか電源を切っているためかかりません。
I tried texting her. I don't know. It was the recording again. What was going on? But if she wasn't picking up, there wasn't anything I could do. She'd be able to see that I called, so she called me back when she looked at the phone. And come to think of it, we could go someplace else after meeting at Cafe Lax. Even if we did run into someone, we could probably talk our way out of it. Probably. And so... Suddenly, there was a knock at the door and I was leapt out of my chair.
こんな時間に。
For a moment, I thought back to the return of the new generation madness, and I felt a cold sweat start to form under my armpits. Very sweaty. I looked outside, afraid. Oh,
あれ
Uki? Why is she here? Weird. I mean, it is her chapter, so I guess we get more scenes from her, but why would she be here in this particular context? You know, but other than the fact that she's probably controlling this entire world right now. Anyway, outside the door was a girl I knew well.
ウキ。
What was she doing here? Whatever she was here for, I couldn't leave her out there. Uki looked relieved when she saw me.
なんだよ、こんな時間にどうした？
すみません、突然。実はこれ。
She handed me a plastic container wrapped in a tiny sack.
これ、お夕食のお裾分けなんですけど、もしよかったら。
He just came all the way, just gave some dinner.
お裾分け？
はい、佐久間先生がちゃんとしたものをタクルさんに食べさせるようにって、それで私が。
ウキが作ったのか？
はい。なので美味しいかどうかはわかりませんが。
I took the sack. The container was still warm. It must have been made just a little while ago.
それでは私はこれで。
Uki bowed her head and turned to go.
あ、
I tried to say thank you, but the words got stuck in my throat. She suddenly turned back to face me.
タクルさん、いただいた観葉植物、毎日大事にお世話してますから。もしよければ、今度私のお部屋に見に来てください。
She smiled and fidgeted as she looked up at me. And then she ran off into the darkness before I could say anything. You know, I'm wondering, assuming that she's the one controlling this delusion, does she have autonomy in this delusion, or is this Uki just a projection of what we think Uki is, and that's why she's so, like, you know, basically perfect, you know, in every way? There's like no flaw to her. She's just, I don't know, just very helpful. But then again, that's how she is in real life. She ran into the darkness before I could say anything. The meal she made for me had a very kind, gentle taste. I guess we stayed up very late. So, we're back at school. I was so sleepy. Last night I've been too excited to sleep properly. I gone through all the back issues of Cool Cat Press I could find, trying to learn all their best dating tips, and the next thing I knew, it was light outside. As a result, my mind had been dulled from exhaustion all morning, and my usual stylish and cool mannerisms were missing a little of their sharpness. I don't think you ever had them, Tucker. Why? I don't think you were ever cool.
いたいた。おはよう、タク。おはよう。ずいぶんと眠そうね。さてはまた夜更かししたんでしょ。
いいよな。そりゃあんなことがありゃ眠れないよな。
As I sat down at my seat, I was surrounded by familiar faces. All around me are familiar faces, worn out faces. I took out the contents of my bag and put them in my desk, trying as hard as I could to act natural.
なんだそのすかした態度は。
そうだよ。せっかくこうして教室まで挨拶しに来てあげたのにさ。
そもそもなんでわざわざ教室まで来るんだよ。
そんなの決まってるじゃないすか。気になるからですよ。
She was definitely talking about what happened in Aozaki's Yume's letter. I couldn't stop thinking about her myself. A date after school. A date with the most beautiful girl in school. There's no way I'd be able to think about anything else. My mind was already spinning like a merry-go-round with happy fantasies. No. If I started getting excited and freaking out over a single date, I'd be no different than those wannabe normie wrong-siders. But...
ねえ、タク、教えてよ。
Serica smacked her hands down on my desk and leaned forward.
何の話だよ。
だから昨日の手紙のことだってば。
別に尾上には関係ないだろ。
なるほどなるほど。
なんだよ。
さては大方の予想通り単なるいたずらだったってオチですね。そうなの？
やっぱりな。俺もそうだと思ってたんだよな。つかそうに決まってる。だって宮代がだぞ。まさかあの宮代がリア充にクラスチェンジするだなんてありえんもんな。
Class change. Bite me, Ito. Gladly. Oh. Well, if that's what he wanted to think, then fine. The reality was the exact opposite.
ほらほら、みんなそんな風にしつこく聞くものじゃないわ。あくまでもタクルのプライベートな話なんだから。のんちゃんは気にならないの？私は別に。その割にはさっきからずっとここにいますよね。それはそう、ほらちゃんともらった手紙には誠意を持ってお返事しなきゃダメよって言おうかなって。
ほう。
だからまあタクルが教えてくれるって言うなら、そのねえ。
I know what. You want to find out as badly as everybody else, don't you? You're like the rest of them.
それで？
だから何がそれでなんだよ。
いいじゃん。いい加減もったいつけずに教えろって。手紙だよ、手紙。ズバリどうだったんだよ。
本物だったの？それともいたずらだったの？
それは。
So they were. Why is Kazuki so excited? Those eyes.
とにかくその話は終わりだ。そんなことより僕たちが今話すべきは昨日できなかった企画の話だ。
Everyone sounded upset. Even Kurisu joined in.
ケチ。
Catchy. Is that a word? I guess Adamura says that a lot. Catchy. I guess you mean you're so cheap or something, you know?
いいじゃねえか。減るもんでもなし。
So you're not willing to like give, I guess. I don't know. I gotta look at that definition. Catchy. It's like a word I hear sometimes, but I don't really know what it means in Japanese.
そうだそうだ。
なんと言おうとダメだ。というわけで、昼休みに企画会議の続きをするぞ。いいな。
It was clear that nothing good would come from talking to them about it. I tried to force the conversation to change direction, but
なんで昼休み？部活は放課後だよね。あ、今明らかにギクってしましたね。
つうことは。
放課後に何かあるってことですな。
いや、それは
あるのね。
あるな。
あるね。
well, everyone found out immediately. Would I be able to complete my mission after school? The mission's compromised, Colonel. Give me my orders. No, I had to. For the sake of my bright, shining future. Mirai.
それじゃあまた放課後に来るね。伊藤先輩、ちゃんと見張っててくださいね。
おう、任せとけ。
楽しみだね。放課後。
つまりここまでをまとめるとだね。
I kept thinking about what would happen after school, even during Wakui's lecture. Aozaki Yume, a girl whom everyone claimed was not only the prettiest girl in her grade, but the most beautiful in their school. I thought about going to see what she was like this morning, but eventually decided not to. If she saw me, she'd think I'd come to check her out. Also, she probably doesn't exist. If that happened, everything would be ruined. I wonder what she's like. Her voice was cute, I knew that for a fact. If you could tell whether someone was pretty from their voice, I could say without a doubt she must be gorgeous. Well, funny thing about that, you know, it always seems like whenever you hear someone from just their voice, and then you see their actual face, it's a lot different than you think. Every time. I don't know. The question was what she was like on the inside. Even if she was cute, I didn't want to date a girl who was a shallow slut. Wow, that's quite a judgment. You know, I thought you even had that thing where you say, oh, you're the person that judges them on appearance, and then yet you're very judgmental. Not good. That's probably like localized a different way. I think the word, you know, slut is a different word in Japanese. It means something else, you know. Anyway, or it means similar things, but you know, it means something slightly different though. You know, it's not as harsh of a word as it is in, you know, in English, but anyway. Only if they're hot? A common if unspoken addendum to many things girls say about guys they like. For example, I like a man who's funny. Only if they're hot. I like a man who can cook. Only if they're hot. Oh yes, M. Yoshiro. The whole only if they're hot thing was for shallow people with shallow minds. A true right-sider like me wouldn't be deceived by appearances. But they say you can't judge a book by its cover. But it's also true that what's on the outside of a person reflects on who they are inside. I mean, well, no, just basic. Like, I mean, the number one thing, as long as you're hygienic, I guess. That's the number one thing. Anyway. It was written that on the inside she had to be.
それじゃあこの先を宮代くんに読んでもらおうかな。宮代くん。
おい、宮代、当てられてるぞ、宮代。
え？
I suddenly realized the whole class was looking at me.
宮代くん、もしかして聞いてなかった？
いえ。
I stood up and then froze. Where was I supposed to be reading from exactly?
122ページ4行目だ、宮代。
Thank you, best friend. Ito, I owe you one.
こんな夢を見た。腕組みをして枕元に座っていると、仰向きに寝た女が静かな声でもう死にますという。
Nani? I was sitting arms crossed at the head of the man who was lying face on the floor before she was going to die.
女は長い髪を枕に敷いて、輪郭の柔らかなウリザネ顔をその中に横たえている。真っ白な頬の底に温かい血の色が程よく差して、唇の色は無論赤い。
What was he reading?
しかし女は静かな声で、宗主夢に胡蝶となるとはっきり言った。
Become a butterfly? Isn't that the chapter title?
屈然として胡蝶なり。
As I read the passage, I started to get confused. I had to read Soseki's 10 Nights of Dreams in class before, and I didn't remember this part.
自分も確かにこれは死ぬなと思った。そこで知らず衆の夢に胡蝶となれるか、胡蝶の夢に衆となれるか、と上から覗き込むようにして聞いてみた。
Oh yeah, isn't that like a thing? I forget what it's called. But yeah, the idea that like our entire existence isn't real, you know? Like what you are right now, you're not actually human right now. This is all a dream. You're actually a butterfly. And you're dreaming that you're human, but you're not really human, you know? Or something like that. I think there's a concept for that. I don't know. There might be a movie about it as well. I don't know.
衆と胡蝶とは
Something like that.
すなわち必ず死にますともと言いながら、女はパッチリと目を開け、
Probably a
あな
movie.
たも夢の中にいるの。
Or maybe a book.
早く脱出しないと戻れなくなってしまうわよ、タクト。
Taku. Most of the human beings are gonna die, the woman said. You're dreaming too, Taku. What? Then
おいおい、宮代くん、一体どこを読んでいるんだい？
いや、
you're reading the wrong thing. My classmates must have found my reaction funny because they all started to laugh. I accidentally read my fanfiction.
いくらいいこと続きだからってしっかりしろって。
I just stood there in shock as the rest of the class laughed at me. I looked back at the textbook and there's nothing like that written there. Of course, the text certainly didn't have my name in it. What the hell was that? Was that just a delusion? Come to think of it, something weird had happened last night, too. Was Ito right? Was I just feeling overwhelmed because I'd been chosen as a news commentator and received a love letter? Or was I still tired after all the stuff that happened with the case? The harder I tried to think about it, and the harder it got to think at all.
やれやれ。どうやら寝ぼけてるようだし、顔を洗ってきた方がいいんじゃないか？
すいません。
I could feel the rest of the class staring at me as I weaved my way through the desks and out into the hallway. I should probably just do what he suggested and go wash my face. Maybe that would make my head feel clearer. My footsteps echoed down the empty hallway as I headed for the washroom. I saw it again. There's no way I could mistake it for anything else. Yep. It was the D-sword. And the person holding it was... Hello.
Uki.
She's like... Concentrating, loading, new section. Uncompressing textures. Introducing new story concepts. Drawing new illustration for Aozuki, what's her face? But why? Before I could say anything, she turned around. And ran away on her tiny little feet. I ran after her. I was sure she went this way. I found Uki and quickly ran over to her.
Uki!
Uki looked up at me, confused. Her bangs were a little wet as she'd been wiping them with a handkerchief. She wasn't holding a D-sword. She was just holding a girly handkerchief.
何をしてるんだ?
実は授業中にうっかり居眠りをしてしまって、それで先生に顔を洗ってくるようにって。
That coincidence. Is that normal? Maybe in Japan. I don't know. When I think about like my experience in school, a teacher never told anyone to like go wash their face before. I don't know. If anything, they're like a little like I don't know. Maybe in middle school. I'm thinking like, isn't it often the case like a lot of people remember like in school, teachers were a little like what's the word? They were a little stingy. Oh, that's the word, not stingy. It's about stingy about letting people leave the classroom, because then they, then go to the washroom. They're on the like outside of supervision and everything. Who knows what those crazy kids are up to when they're outside the class? I don't know. But that was more middle school. I think in high school, teachers cared less. At least my high school. In my high school, you could just like walk out. Who cares? They don't care. Just leave anytime you go to the washroom. You don't need to ask permission. But anyway.
はい、最近朝早くから夜遅くまで施設のお手伝いをしているので疲れてしまったみたいで。
Her little bottle seemed to get even smaller as she apologized. Looking at her, it was impossible to believe she was planning to do something evil with a D-sword.
そうか。
恥ずかしい話ですが。
Her cheeks went red with shame and she turned her head downward.
それじゃあ私は授業に。
ああ。
Uki bowed her head and then disappeared down the hall. And there it was again. I was seeing things again. What was happening to me? Well, lunchtime came and I went to the clubroom like I originally planned. I was still thinking about the creepy thing I'd seen. The broadcasting club were playing their daily lunch broadcasts. How many people actually look forward to this? National Apple Appreciation Day. Amazing.
でも最近はすっかり肌寒さが増してきて、リンゴっていうよりはこたつでみかんって感じかな。こたつの魔力ってすごいですよね。どんな怖い人でもこたつに入ると眠っちゃうんじゃないでしょうか。こたつで寝るのってすっごく幸せですよね。私も一度寝ちゃうとなかなか起きられなくて、早く目を覚まさなきゃって。
You wake up, Takaru, wake up from this dream.
早く目を覚まさなきゃ、早く目を覚ませ、早く目を覚まして。早く目を覚まして、タク。
What was that? Was someone calling my name?
そこにいちゃダメ。早く目を覚まさないと戻れなくなっちゃうよ。
I won't be able to come back. What does that mean?
おい、それって一体。
さあ、それでは今日のリクエスト曲いってみましょう。最初の曲はファンタズムで。
The lunchtime broadcast was back to normal. All the other students were acting like nothing was out of the ordinary. They were discussing what anime was good this season, or where they were going after school. I doubt that. Like, well, I don't know. I mean, anime in general it is like common in Japan, but like only the really popular ones, I guess. Otherwise, I don't imagine them talking about anime. Like normal ryajus. They'll probably talk about like dramas or something. I don't know, TV shows in general. Well, it was like that broadcast had never happened.
やっぱりおかしいよな。
If anything, well, probably one of the most popular anime in Japan is probably that weird one, the Shin-chan, I think? The weird, like, the one that's like very family friendly and just made for kids, really. Literal like kids cartoon. Anyway, at this point, even I had to admit that something wasn't right. Was I going crazy?
タクルさん、どうしたんですか?
I heard a voice and turned around. And I gasped again. Uki was standing there holding a shining blade. She's back with a blade.
どうしたんですか?
Huh? I adjusted my glasses and took another look. Uki was in front of me, but she wasn't holding a D-sword. Her oval eyes went wide with surprise.
私がどうかしましたか?
いや、なんでもないんだ。
そうですか。
I tried to act calm, but Uki didn't seem satisfied.
その、ウキも物質だよな。
はい。
一緒に行こうか。
はい。
I walked ahead so that she couldn't tell how worried I was getting on the inside, or how worried I was getting on the inside, or I was getting on the inside rather. Couldn't tell how worried I was. Couldn't tell how worried I was getting on the inside. That's what I was trying to say. I don't know. Sometimes you can't, sometimes you can't tell the context of how you read the sentence until actually after you've read it. Anyway, I could hear her following me from behind.
あ、来た来た。チャオス。
Chaosu. Everyone was already in the room.
私お茶入れますね。
I watched Uki start to make the tea like always and sat down in my chair.
なんだなんだ、でっかいため息なんかついて。まさか昨日の今日でいきなり彼女に振られでもしたか?
違う、そんなんじゃない。
I let my head droop down as I tried to think. I mean, I don't think it's super common. Like, I've never seen this whole thing, the whole idea that you're living in a perfect world, but actually it's all an illusion. I think the last time I've seen this is when I read when I read a light novel, I think. I don't want to say the name because it's kind of like spoilers, because that in itself is kind of like a spoiler, that you're living in a fake world. As it turns out, no, it's actually fake, and then the real world was something else all along, or something like that. I'm trying to think. I guess it's called. I think I know the name. I think it's called Lotus Eater Machine. That's the trope's name. I think it's a thing that happens in like fiction. I don't think I've seen much of it, at least in anime. Anyway. I let my head droop down as I tried to think. What was happening to me didn't seem to make sense. Was it only happening to me? Either way, I didn't think I'd be able to solve this problem on my own. Which meant...
あのさ、ちょっと聞いてほしいんだけど。
Just playing ESO2?
どうしたの? 改まって。
あのさ、実は。
Then I told them all about everything that had happened since last night. I didn't mention Uki's name, since she was right there.
それって大丈夫なのかな? 専門のお医者様に診てもらった方がいいかもしれないわね。
Everyone started to give their own opinions.
私はあんまり考えすぎない方がいいと思いますけどね。ほら、気の持ちようってのもありますし。
そうそう。女の子から手紙もらって舞い上がってるだけだろ。
そうかな。
Maybe I was overthinking things. To be honest, I didn't want to think too hard about it. Maybe I just wanted to hear that everything was okay. I did feel a little better getting it off my chest.
タク？
あ、いや、参考になった。礼を言うよ。
もういいの？
なあ、それに企画の話もしなくちゃならないし、いつまでも僕の問題にかまけている時間もないだろう。
それはそうだけど。
それじゃあ改めて今後の活動についてだけど。
それじゃあ当面の活動目標は渋谷復興祭のレポートっていうことでいいわね。
So we just decided on doing the boring thing instead. We ended up picking the obvious answer for our project. I've been opposed to it until now, but after what was happening to me, I honestly didn't care anymore. I have been just as happy to do a cooking video. How to basic. Just throw an egg into the floor, and then 6 billion views. Anyway, even the excitement I've been feeling for my after-school date was beginning to fade. As the school day drew to a close, I kept turning my phone on and then turning it off again. Of course, I was thinking of calling Aozaki. My mood kept getting darker and darker as afternoon classes proceeded. I didn't feel like I was up for a date anymore. It wouldn't be right to spend a day feeling like this, and more than anything, it would be rude to her. Part of me wanted to do it another day, and a part of me didn't want to waste this chance. I thought and thought, and
やっぱり今日は体調が悪いってことにして別の日に伸ばしてもらおう。
may as well get it over with then. I turned my phone on again before I could change my mind, and then tapped in her number. I'm probably gonna get nothing again. She didn't answer.
もう一回。
もう一回. She still didn't answer. I kept trying, but she never picked up. Come to think of it, she would have seen that I called last night, but she hadn't called me back. If you got a call from your boyfriend, wouldn't you normally either pick up right away or call back?
仕方ない。
Are you officially her boyfriend? It might not be ideal, but it would be better than blowing her off. Yes, blowing her off. I decided to visit the second-year classrooms. But I didn't know what Aozaki looked like. Well, you know her by name, I guess. I only know her name and phone number. I should have asked Ito first maybe, but there's no helping that now.
せめて有村がいれば。
He'd be able to tell me what class Aozaki was in at least. I went to Adamura's classroom, but I couldn't find her. She may have gone home already. I guess I just have to...
はい。
I worked up what little courage I had and asked one of the girls walking by.
ちょっといいですか？
何ですか？
その、青崎ゆめさんのクラスってどこですか？
は？
だから青崎ゆめさん。
青崎？
That was strange. If she was the prettiest girl in school, she should have at least heard of her. I asked someone else, but...
青崎さん、知ってる？知らない。てか、そんな人2年にはいなくない？
Well... You're not really good at this, illusion thing, Uki. You gotta make all the other nameless NPCs. Gotta code them in, to recognize a name Aozaku Yume as well. Otherwise, the main character will get mixed up. They'll report this. It's a bug report. Anyway, there wasn't. Adamura said she was the prettiest girl in school, not just a second-year class. Ito knew about her too, and he'd even been jealous of me. I talked to her last night on the phone. By the way, Yume means dream. So... so maybe there's... I mean, there's a lot of hints, you know? I mean, we already know this is all just a weird delusion. But, you know, it's even more on the nose, I feel like. I decided to visit the first-year class just to be sure. Maybe I heard wrong, and Aozaki was a first-year student and not a second-year student. Well, I wonder what Aozaki even means. I don't know what Aozaki means, though. Maybe it's just a name. Just a normal name. But... what the hell was going on? Uh-oh. How could there be nobody named Aozaki Yume in either grade? The illusion is breaking down. The world is breaking at the seams. I decided to call Adamura. Hello? This was the first time I could remember where she hadn't picked up the phone. Fine, I sent a text. I waited but got no answer. What the hell? What's happening here? A black shadow started to press down on my heart. Did this have something to do with the other strange things that are happening around me? Or was my early guess right and Naramura and the others was trying to prank me? I wasn't to get anywhere, sitting around all day waiting for an answer. I ended up going to Cafe Lex where we were supposed to meet. If I went there, I should be able to find her. Even if it was a prank, my friends would all be there eagerly awaiting my arrival. Either way, I learned something. It's a prank, bro. I went to the cafe and looked around from a slightly concealed vantage point. Hello, Renge. Who are you, by the way? I mean, she's in cosplay. I wonder if she has, like, a normal sprite, you know? Where she's not in, like, cosplay. I don't know what she looks like without the whole costume. But maybe it doesn't matter. She probably is just a side character. Huh? Wait a second. I adjusted my glasses and took another look. Yeah, do we see a face? Huh. Actually, she's real. Well, at least she's drawn anyway. She gets one pose. That's it. You can't spend any more budget than that.